Well, we're coming to a close of Esther, this great book. I hope you've gotten something out of it. Somebody at least grown or something. Somebody came to me last week, so I've never laughed so much, never had such a good time with a sermon. That's okay, I'll take that. It's fun. You know, we in the Baptist church like to eat. Right? That's a great cook, so we have a good time. I don't know why you don't come on Wednesday nights. I mean, great food, Charlotte. Super, you and your crew. Come and join us on Wednesday night and have the food and the fellowship. There's food in the Word of God. And that's what I'm trying to do, is serve you some of that, whet your appetite so that you'll dig deeper and find out what God is saying to you. We are not as good in celebrating as we are in eating. If you feed them, they will come, right? But we're not as good as celebrating. And so I want you to think about celebrating and how it's good to do that. When your new pastor comes on board, celebrate his arrival. Celebrate the new beginning between pastor and people. Celebrate where you're heading and how you're going to reach his community. And then celebrate with every milestone. Celebrate with all those folks that you reach in the name of the Lord. There's a holiday that's celebrated in our world today that's characterized with great joy and much celebration. It's a festival rich with spiritual meaning, rest from work, feasting, exchanging gifts, and even giving to the poor. What holiday do you think I'm talking about? What comes to mind? Christmas. How many of you think I'm talking about Christmas? It's a good thought. It really is. That's not it. I want us to learn a little bit about a feast that is still celebrated in the world today, but we as Baptists don't celebrate. It's a feast of Purim, or Purim. P-U-R-I-M. That's the first answer on your sheet. So get to write. This feast is introduced to us in this 9th chapter of the book of Esther. It's a feast that's even initiated by Esther and by Mordecai. It's allowed by God. It's thought to have been celebrated by our Lord himself, and it's still celebrated by Jews around the world. As a matter of fact, did a little Google search, and the Feast of Purim falls next year in March. In the scripture, it comes in the book of Adar, or the month of Adar, which must correlate some way to the month of February, March. And it's a great feast, a time of remembrance. It's one of the few feasts, if not the only feast, that was not started by God. Started by Esther and Mordecai. It is a time of remembering what God did in saving the children of Israel from the edict that came from Haman, the vice president, that we saw was hanged on the gallows he built to kill Mordecai in our last session. Well, I see the twinkle in your eyes, and I know that you're remembering. Go ahead. I'm still waiting for you. In chapter 8 of Esther, the king has allowed Mordecai and Esther Haman had put into irreversible law that the Persians, of which the king was, the Persians were going to be permitted to kill the Jews on the 13th day of the month of Adar, which equates somehow to like February the 28th on our calendar. Since Haman's wicked decree could not be reversed, even by the king himself, they had to come up with some technicality, and Mordecai was allowed not to rescind that law, but to write a counter law. That's the best word I can come up with, a counter law. And according to this new decree, the Jews were going to be able to defend themselves on the day when the Persians were going to be allowed to slaughter the Jews. So can you see this civil war that's being prepared for? In fact, in chapter 9 of our writing, we're told that the Jews were able to arm themselves, and rather than waiting for the attack to come upon them by the Persians, the Jews went on the offensive and decided to go out and attack the Persians first. And the Bible says, the scriptures tell us, that the Jews were so successful that in the capital city of Shushan, 500 people were killed. As a matter of fact, in more modern translations, as it breaks it down into things we can understand, about 75,000 people throughout the 127 provinces of the kingdom were slaughtered, were killed by the Jews. Now, if you were the king of the Persians, how are you feeling about now? A little uneasy? I don't know about you, but I get a little bit concerned myself. At the end of all of this, at the end of the day, the king says to the queen, Esther, people have been getting killed out there. It's okay, I guess. Anything else you want, queen? And she says, yes. Give us another day to do the same. Whoa. Now you're the king. 75,000 people have been killed, 500 in your hometown. What do you say? Well, you've already promised her half the kingdom. So you say, sure, babe. You got it. One more day. Go get it. So, I think I just gone dead. If you can't hear me, take a nap. So this extra day of fighting was a time where the Jewish people, under tremendous oppression, are expressing themselves. This extra day couldn't be communicated throughout the provinces because all the cell phones were down and the internet wasn't working. And so everyone outside of the palace city, they're resting. The Jews are resting and they're celebrating the great victory from the day before, on the 14th day of Adar. The people inside the city, the capital city, are the ones still fighting. They don't rest. They don't celebrate until the next day. And so one day has become a 2-day holiday. We seem to do that. We take a Monday and make holidays out of it, make them several days. Rather than trying to get everyone to recognize one day or the other, Mordecai and Esther decided, okay, we'll just use both these days to be days of celebration. And as we're about to read in the scripture, in the 9th chapter, these 2 days become known to us as the Feast of Purim. All right? We got all that? That's a long introduction. But that just sort of sets the tone for us. From the Living Bible, so on the 28th day of February, the day the 2 decrees of the king were put into effect, the day the Jews' enemies had hoped to vanquish them, though it turned out quite contrary, the Jews gathered in their cities throughout all the king's provinces to defend themselves against any who might try to harm them. But no one tried, for they were greatly feared. And all the rulers of the provinces, the governors, officials, and aides, helped the Jews for fear of Mordecai. Isn't that something? Unknown Mordecai, 3 chapters ago, is suddenly feared throughout the land. A Jew is feared by the mighty Persians. All right, got that picture? We read on. For Mordecai was a mighty man of the king's palace, and his fame was known throughout all the provinces, for he had become more and more powerful. But the Jews went ahead on that appointed day and slaughtered their enemies. They even killed 500 men at Shushan. They also killed the 10 sons of Ammon, the Jews' enemy. And this is where I'm going to do a very cowardly thing. Okay? I'm going to let you read the 10 names of the sons and pronounce them yourself. Because I'll be honest with you, I have never heard anybody name these 10 names. And I have listened. I can't figure it out. So there are 10 sons, and they get killed. Right? You got that? Well, wasn't that a brave thing to do, right? It says, but they didn't take Ammon's property. Killed the sons, but they didn't take the property. Late that evening, when the king was informed of the number of those slain in Shushan, he called for Queen Esther. The Jews have killed 500 men at Shushan below, he exclaimed, and also Ammon's 10 sons. If they have done that here, I wonder what has happened in the rest of the provinces. But now, what more do you want? You will be granted. You tell me, and I'll do it. And Esther said, if it please your majesty, let the Jews who are here at Shushan do again tomorrow as they have done today, and let Ammon's 10 sons be hanged from the gallows. My oldest daughter, Melissa, if there was a bug or anything that got into the house, she would say, when she was small, she would say to me, Daddy, I want you to kill it. I want you to kill it dead. Right? You get that? Kill it, but kill it dead. That's exactly what's happening here. These sons are already dead, but they're going to hang them as an example before the people. So the king agreed. The decree was announced at Shushan. They hung up the bodies of Ammon's 10 sons. Then the Jews of Shushan gathered together the next day also and killed 300 more men, though again they took no property. Meanwhile, the other Jews throughout the king's provinces had gathered together and stood for their lives and destroyed all their enemies, killing 75,000 of those who hated them. But they did not take their goods. Throughout the provinces, this was done on the 28th day of February, and the next day they rested, celebrating their victory with feasting and gladness. But the Jews at Shushan went on killing their enemies the second day also, and rested the next day with feasting and gladness. And so it is that the Jews in the unwalled villages throughout Israel to this day have an annual celebration on the second day when they rejoice and send gifts to each other. Mordecai wrote a history of all these events and sent letters to the Jews near and far throughout all the king's provinces, encouraging them to declare an annual holiday on the last days of the month to celebrate with feasting, gladness, and the giving of gifts. This historic day when the Jews were saved from their enemies, when their sorrow was turned to gladness and their mourning into happiness. So the Jews adopted Mordecai's suggestion and began this annual custom. That's verse 23, and that's when we'll stop this morning. Of the various feasts that the Jews observed and that are mentioned in the Old Testament, the Feast of Purim, which is, the name is found over the 29th verse, I believe, is one, as I said, that is not instituted by God. It was instituted by his people, and it appears to have been blessed by God. And that's an important thing. We do a lot of things that are not in God's will. And I don't think God's going to bless it. We do a lot of things, and then we say, oh, God bless it. Well, if it's not in God's will, I don't know that he's going to bless it. But God was blessing Esther and Mordecai and blessed this holiday, and evidently still does. While we don't celebrate it, the Feast of Purim is an annual reminder to the Jews of several lessons that they learned about God during their time of great sorrow and grief. It's in these lessons that I want to share with you some truth for us as we walk in the world today. When we think about this feast, I want us to remember that God, in the midst of what could have been devastation for the Jewish people, stepped in and allowed the Jews to survive. I found it very interesting that in 1953, when Stalin was seeking to kill off all the Jews in Russia. I can't think of a better way to put it than that. When he was going about doing evil, he died in the midst of doing this evil, and he died during the Feast of Purim. In 1990, another madman by the name of Saddam Hussein began firing Scud missiles. He was from where? Iraq? He began firing Scud missiles into Kuwait and then into Israel. When the U.S.-led forces came in and put a stop to Hussein, it was on the day of the Feast of Purim. Isn't that something? God bless us, even when we may not see it. So what are the lessons that we can learn? Well, what is it that God wants us to remember each time we read this book of Esther, or when we encounter the story? The story that we find, I think, is a story that's told over and over and over and over again in history. And listen to this. I think this is a story of your life. I think this is a story of our church. I think this is a story of your family. I think it's told over and over again, and I believe that unless we realize that we're caught up in this story, in these lessons, we're missing out on the reality that God is in control, even when we may not think so. We get so caught up in the things of the world that we take our eyes off of God and we put them on to the things or on the people, and we miss out on the great blessings of God. The first thing I want us to see, the first lesson I want us to learn from this 9th chapter, from this Feast of Purim, from this time of the Jews standing up against the Persians is this. And this is so simplistic that you're going to say, oh, I already knew that. God's people, lesson number one, God's people are always going to have an enemy in this world. Now, is there anybody that did not know that? It's too simple. I think, though, we need to remind ourselves of that. From the opening pages of the book of Genesis to the closing pages of the book of Revelation, from the Alpha to the Omega, God's people had withstood enemies, both great and small. There were the Amalekites, the Jebusites, and all other kinds of sites and ites in the world that were doing harm against God and God's people. From Egypt and Assyria and Babylon and Greece and Rome and Iraq, Hitler, Hussein, and on the list can go. The early Christians were opposed by Rome. And then they were opposed by the Catholic Church. And now, as it has been, by Muslims. And by the pagans. And again, the list could go on and on. In countries all around our world today, God's people labor, and they serve in the midst of their enemy. Many of them giving their lives as a result. In our own country, we stand in opposition as more and more efforts are made to silence our voice, or at the very least to neutralize Christianity. I find it sad that we have allowed, as Americans, others to come in and to tell us what we can and cannot do as Americans and as Christians. We have an enemy, and he is in this world, walking about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. I don't know why we're so naive about this, but we seem to be. We Baptists may poke fun at those who see the devil and everything and evil spirits walking around. You know, the devil made you do that kind of thing, you know. We don't want to admit that there is an enemy, but he's there. And I think that we need to stop and realize am I in jeopardy? Okay. That's good because I couldn't answer any of the questions. I have no idea what I was. In the beginning, in the garden, God created a perfect world. As Adam and Eve walked with God in perfection in that garden of delight, they encountered the enemy, Satan, who tempted them, not with pitchfork and horns, but he tempted them with what? Food. You ever get tempted by food? Yeah. Isn't it funny he knows our weakness? When man was at his greatest, walking in the garden with God, Satan came and took him down. And he's still in that business today. When we are at work in our world today, when we are seeking to do our best to give our lives to the cause of Christ, we need to remember that that thief, Satan himself, has come to steal and to destroy. And we should not be surprised. When you are at your greatest, When you are in tune with the Lord and things seem to be going your way, don't think it odd in those moments when you come under attack. Because Satan knows exactly what buttons to push in your life and in mine. He knows how to distract us and to take us out of the battle and keep us from giving our best to the Master. Someone has said that Satan's three most powerful tools are hurry, noise, and crowds. And that may be true. If that is true, that hurry, noise, and crowds are his most powerful tools, then I think their kissing cousins have got to be worry and doubt and fear. My youngest daughter has been suffering from a number of health ailments, and for the last 10, 11, 12 days has battled migraines, which are getting the best of her. She's been in and out of the hospital. She's had NCIS, no, that's not it. She's had an MRI and other things that were done on her. And this past week, the MRI revealed that there are lesions on the brain. I'm Daddy, and I'm trying not to worry. But I will tell you the truth. That was really hard to do. I gave it to God, and then I took it back from God. And I gave it to God, and then I took it back from God. And I gave it to God, and I took it back from God. No wonder we worry. We keep taking things back from God. Well, my sister, younger sister, is epileptic, has been since birth. Lesions on the brain. All I could think of was epilepsy. What I feared was MS or brain tumors or whatever else could be. Well, it may be epilepsy, that's what they're saying. She's going in for infusions this week to try to break up the migraine headaches. Dad still can't stop worrying. And the reason I tell you this is to tell you that when we worry, when we have doubts and we have fears, we're focusing not on the best, we're focusing on the worst. And that's exactly what the enemy wants us to do. He wants us to focus on those things that will keep us from seeing the glory of God. Whether that be in our individual lives or in the church. When we become so self-centered, when we become so concerned and so worried about the things that affect me, then we forget what God is doing all around us and in the world. And Satan celebrates. I could leave it right there this morning, and that would be sort of a low note, a down note, miserable note. But I want to say, thankfully, God has not left us in this world to face our enemy alone. Because you see, God will always have a way of deliverance for his people. He has made a way through the deepest, darkest night, through the greatest storm. He has made a way. By the way, they say that 7 inches, 1 inch of rain equals 7 inches of snow. To put this whole thing in perspective, 40 inches of rain in the South Carolina area would be 23 plus feet of snow over 2 or 3 days. I've never seen that kind of snow. I've never seen that kind of rain. I've never seen that kind of destruction. But I know it's there. But I also know this. In the midst of all of that, God will make a way. When the Jews were in despair down there in Egypt, They were in bondage to the Egyptians and had been for some time. God was preparing for them a fellow by the name of Moses. And when they couldn't get into the promised land, he was preparing a fellow by the name of Joshua. When there was a giant that was taunting the Jews, when there was a giant that had them all quaking in their boots, God was preparing a young fellow by the name of David, who said, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I don't have to be afraid, because God is with me. You see, so many of those that God has chosen through the years have been reluctant to hear God's call. But we need to remember that when they did hear God's call and they were faithful to that call, God used them and blessed his people. We need to remember what Mordecai said to Esther several chapters back. Young lady, let me tell you something. I think God has made you for just such a time as this. God could go out and get someone else to do what he was preparing to do. But Mordecai said to his cousin Esther, I believe with all of my heart that God has prepared you for such a time as this. My friend, what is God preparing you for? What time is it in your life? Sometimes God has to bring us out through spiritual deliverance. Sometimes it's spiritual deliverance. Other times it might be physical, or it might be emotional. But I want to tell you, you can count on this one thing. Don't miss this. Don't leave here today without hearing it. The one thing you can count on is that the Lord Jesus Christ cares for you, that he loves you. No matter the storm, he will make a way. He will deliver through the storm. He will take you through the circumstances. Why did Jesus come in the first place? Listen to what he said. Listen to how Luke records in the 4th chapter. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He has appointed me to preach good news to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted and to announce that captives shall be released and the blind shall see, that the downtrodden shall be freed from their oppressors, and that God is ready to give blessings to all who come to him. Want to be blessed? Bring yourself and your all to him. Whether we fully understand how the Lord works in our lives or not, the fact is, he said that he has come for the express purpose of deliverance. He wants to set you free. He wants to set me free from worry, from stress, from doubt, from fear. He wants to set us free from the bondage that keeps us enslaved to the things of this world. Wow. We should all say amen. God is at work. God is a great deliverer. The Apostle Paul wrote in 2 Corinthians chapter 1 these words. What a wonderful God we have. He is the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the source of every mercy, and the one who so wonderfully comforts and strengthens us in our hardships and trials. Why does he do this? So that when others are troubled, needing our sympathy and encouragement, we can pass on to them this same help and comfort God has given to us. You can be sure that the more we undergo sufferings of Christ, the more he will show us his comfort and encouragement. Wow. You can be sure we have a wonderful God. He is our Father. He is the the one who gives mercy and grace. Paul's confidence was caught up in Christ. Goes on in chapter 4, 2 Corinthians, to say this: we are pressed on every side by troubles, but not crushed and not broken. We are perplexed because we don't know why things happen as they do, but we don't give up and quit. We are hunted down, but God never abandons us. We get knocked down, but we get up again, and we keep going. These bodies of ours are constantly facing death, just as Jesus did. So it's clear to all that it is only the living Christ within who keeps us safe. Paul goes on to say, that's why we never give up. This morning I'm talking about trusting God for deliverance. In the face of our enemy, when troubles seem to bring us down, when times seem to be distressing, I say to you, take heart. Maintain hope. For what you're going through is only temporal, worldly, temporary. For a while, the Word God is doing in you is for all eternity. There are going to be tough times in your life. You may be facing them right now. When God gives you a tremendous riveting pain, buckle your seatbelt and hold on. And remember, God is still in control. When God uses someone and they inflict pain and hurt in our lives, don't give in and don't give up. Remember, God is still God. True victory comes when we are no longer under the burden of our cares and troubles, but through Christ, we find ourselves living high and above the evil one of this world. When we are living daily for Christ, we're experiencing the joy that will last forever. So we find the Jews in a day of celebration. We find the Jews victorious. We find the Jews overcoming. And there's one name that has not been mentioned yet in the entire book of Esther. Have you picked up on that yet? 9 chapters, whose name is missing? God. His name is not mentioned. Do you think he's there? Without a doubt. I believe his hand is resting fully upon Esther and fully upon Mordecai. And now we see the hand of God upon the Jewish people once again. And I want to tell you, God wants to do the same for you and me. He wants to do the same for our people. I think I asked you this question months ago. Do you think that God is finished with 4 Mile Creek? Think it's time to put a for sale sign out front? No, I don't either. But if God is resting his hand upon the church and you are the church, doesn't that mean God is expecting you to be about his business? And to be celebrating who God is and what God is doing? Doesn't that mean that as brothers and sisters in Christ, we need to get rid of anything that divides us, anything that we may be at odds with another, and simply say, we are one in the Spirit, we are one in the Lord, and let God lead and bless especially. We've come to the time of invitation. We've come to a time when we can express ourselves during this time to one another and to God. You know, walking an aisle will not save you, okay? I'm going to tell you that right now. Walking the aisle will not take away your sin. Walking the aisle is not even going to take away all the cares and burdens in this world. But it may help you as you come to the altar to realize that God is not done yet. It may help you to realize that you are not alone. So as we stand and as we sing a hymn of invitation, God is leading. Will you respond to Him? Not to me. Will you respond to Him? I think one of the greatest sights in a Baptist church or any church is seeing people at the altar in prayer. I'm not talking about long, lengthy prayers. I'm talking about coming up and spending 30 seconds here, giving to God. Watch what God can do. So here we go. We're going to sing.